Hey y'all, it is Stella Rose, and I am here because I have been reliably told that if there are things that are burning your biscuits, scalding your grits, or just plain irritating the ever loving snot out of you, it is more appropriate and appreciated if you go on the internets to tell people about it. And y'all, I don't know what has happened. I don't know what is in the water, but people have lost their ever Jesus loving minds. They really, really have. And there are a couple people that just need a little bit of tough love, if you will. Down here, we call it come to Jesus. Now, I don't know what is wrong with y'all young people on the internets because we have a couple people that have just plumb gone crazy and they have just scalded my grits, frosted my biscuits, and just done everything to tick me off. Thank you. You know what? This I found this shirt and it was so cha-cha. I thought, we're going with a flower. We are gonna just sassy this up. And Mr. Stella was super happy about that. And I got me my blue eyeshadow on. You know it's gonna be a hot day and some ranting, I guess, if there is some blue eyeshadow on. It is a day of reckoning for some people. Some people need a granny come to Jesus heart to heart, a little sweetheart, little tell you what you're doing wrong and bless your heart. That's what we need. Some of y'all need it. I'm just telling you, like these first people, this first person, I y'all, I was about to drive. Granny was about to catch a case, if you know what I mean. Because I saw this and I thought, "No, ma'am. No, this is some of that fake news. I just have to no one is this special. No one is this terrible. Not a one person would be this disrespectful, this terrible, this heartless, this evil. And no, sir, no, ma'am. I cannot believe it. I prayed about it. I thought, "Lord, should I go on the internets and, just let people know what I'm feeling?" But I have again been reliably told by my grandchildren that the internet is the only place to go. Sir, I do not think that the good Lord intended for everyone to see your jungular area when you're, you know, holy water. Just praise Jeebus. I don't even know. I know. Just does not appreciate a sassy woman of vintage. I cannot believe it. Yeah, Mr. Sal, you need to get your grandpa on, if you know what I mean. I think we could have a fun time roasting people if you got some gray hairs. I'm just saying. I know. When I was little, I may or may not have many suitors, and you would not believe the amount of times people wanted to do streetcar, of desire with me. Now, the tearing the shirt part. Listen, I didn't have to have glasses then, okay? And Marlon Brando had not found carbs yet. He was a terrible person, but, you know. Hello, everyone. Well, let us hear what these just trifle these I may be from the hills and hollers, and I may have an accent that makes most people think that I have lost IQ points, and I may dress like our sainted patron, Dolly Parton, but I am not this trashy because y'all need to see this. I'm sending some holy water. I am sending some holy water.
Charge of murder in the first degree after deliberation. We, the jury, find the defendant, Letitia Stout, guilty of count number 1.
It was such a horrible case, the murder of little Gannon
Yeah,
Stout by
I
his
mean,
step.
y'all, I cried and cried on this case, and that woman was straight from hell. Just straight from hell. You listen to them video or them oh gosh, what do they call them? Them recordings of those phones? That woman will make you wanna reverse the 19th Amendment. Just take it all away from us. Yeah, believe me, and then my grandkids saw The Simpsons, and it was all they wrote. All they wrote, they were just I can't ever get away with it. Nope, no. and Farrell is here. But this is some trashy trashiness. Let me get through it because, y'all, I was Twitter pated. I was Twitter pated, and Mr. You know, Mr. Stella had to stop me because I was about to unleash the holy word. I was going to go up to their houses and I was going to take the good book and I was going to smack them with it. And apparently that is both battery and assault. But sometimes the Lord just needs to touch you and, just a Bible to the side of the head. I'm just saying it can do a world of wonders just like praying on you. So let's see.
His stepmother, evil stepmother, Letitia Stout. It was an insanity defense case, but I've got something else you need to know tonight about what's happening here. There is a
If anyone was a greasy bow hunk, this looks like a salesman at a greasy car spot. His eyes are so close together, you know he is lying, trying to sell me a Kia Rio. Like I like you can drive anything but a truck or four-wheel drive down just for I want to go mudding and he wants to get me a Kia. Sir.
a true crime YouTuber. You may or may not know her. Goes by the name of Zav Girl. There she is, very successful true crime YouTuber, but apparently filed a Freedom of Information Act request to get the photos from little Gannon's autopsy.
I'm so sorry, but, no, no, just cheap and tawdry. There is a way um, Sal, I will tell you that, I had help with David did it. That's the only reason I have it. I am still working on learning how to do certain things. Like I said, I am the Elon Gates of my group, and Mildred can still go to hell, but I still need grandkids' help. But I have my jitterbug all programmed, okay? So, small victories ahead forward.
And then made a video about them and put them on her Patreon account. So people had to pay, I don't know, maybe $3 or something to view that particular video with the autopsy.
Here, and I am done with this woman until we see her apology. Because let me tell you, how dare you, ma'am? There is a line between covering true crime, like our dear sainted Anne Rule, who died, okay? But she was able to cover crime and not be tawdry. Just not be tawdry, not be salacious. I mean, that book that she wrote on Diane Downs, Small Sacrifices, it was terrible, but it was I learned a whole lot, and that woman is just a troubled, troubled human being. Diane Downs still won't admit that it wasn't, like, armed ninjas. If you can it just and she wasn't even wearing a bra at her last parole meeting. I mean, what in the actual hell, people? I don't when you are a woman of a certain vintage and gravity has done, taken its course, okay, you need some support for them women's, alright? Them ladies need some supports. You do not go outside if you are a lady of class. Now, if you are just tawdry and in jail, I guess it don't even matter. You don't even wanna be a lady. But this woman, this, Zav girl, how in the hell dare you, ma'am? I was watching that trial, and when they put them, accidental photos up, when they showed that little boy's body, they're the more normal and moral of these YouTuber people, I think they're called, like crime scene tubers or I don't know. I mean, the more respectful court tubers or what have you, they were putting up logos and doing all the fancy graphical stuff, and they were covering them pictures up because don't no one need to see that. Not one person. And then you go over and you make people pay for it. It is the cheapest, tawdriest. I'm telling you what, I might be called white trash, but you are just garbage, ma'am. Just garbage. And that's it. Now, the good book does say, unfortunately, in my opinion, sometimes, though I'm supposed to be saved, so I'm trying to be better, that you must provide a road to redemption. So let's see if this woman even attempted a road to daggone redemption. Because I mean, y'all, at this moment, just she's just terrible, and I don't even wanna hear her talk. S but we are trying to be better. We're trying to be better. We are saved. We are washed in the blood, and we are trying to be a better human, but, as of right now, y'all, Jesus flipped him some tables, okay? He may or may not have whipped him some bankers, alright? I'm just saying, I am part of the Christianity that will come and read you and give you the good book, but it might be a hard tap to your skullness, okay? Sometimes love needs to be a little tough. So let's but as we are told, there must be a road to redemption. Let's see if I feel any redemptionists, because I don't know, she's still dressed like a hippie, so who the hell knows? I mean, it does look like she wears deodorant, so I don't know, but hippie, I just don't.
Since then, you likely know about the last few days. I want to apologize to everyone I've hurt, but especially Gannon's family. I've been doing some
Yes,
major
ma'am.
soul searching.
Yes, ma'am. I am you know what? I got so mad, so Twitter pated, I forgot to say, y'all remember Landon. I don't have a look, I when you are of a certain vintage, you can have a lot of different opinions, and I choose to comfortably live there. Yeah, this is definitely I don't feel like I don't know. I just don't. Oh, well, then I don't know. But we saw Landon, okay? And let me tell you what, she had to sit there and listen to Letitia. That skank, that no good murdering hussy had to listen to her put her down every damn day. Every damn day had to listen to her. Well, it could have been Landon because Landon has, issues with addiction. And it could have been Landon because it was the cartels. And it could have been Landon or, why you got Landon there. Letitia could not keep Landon's mouth out her name out her damn mouth. Okay. Let me tell you what. Landon was there. Now, she left when these pictures were shown because that mama never wanted to see her baby like that, and you put that behind a paywall. Horrible, just for some oh gosh, what do the grandkids call it? It's, internet clouts. Internet clouts? You did this for some, updoots or some plus signs and oh gosh, what is it? The little thing on the rumbles. The plus I don't know. It's a thingy. It's a thingy on Rumble. Anywho, you did this, and that beautiful woman that struggled and lost her precious little baby boy, she got up on a victim impact statement, and she was a goddess, and she tore Letitia apart, and she was a lady about it, and she looked beautiful. And now you put these pictures, these monuments of the worst moments of her life and her son's life up for $2. Just shameful and tawdry. And I don't know, but this is, a 3 little minute thing is just not gonna appeal to me. But Imma listen to what you have to say, but I'm just telling you, my grits are a boiling, and I don't like it. You make me angry, and I got, like, this heaviness in my chest because I sat with that family. I watched that trial every damn day, and you wanna talk about being strong and being actual good people and standing up and standing for something? Those family members stayed there and they listened to the horrific stuff. That daddy, he listened. He had to listen to every single blow that happened to that boy. Landon couldn't stay in there, and God knows I would not. But for you to make that into a profit is disgusting. And I don't do things that are not ladylike, but I would spit at your feet, ma'am. I would spit because it is disrespectful. Just saying your apology, but again, we are trying to be more like Steve Gosney, the good Christian in the world. He look, I'm yes, sweetheart, I am Granny. Look, everyone has opinions, just like noses and asses, and they don't all look the same or feel the same. But,
And
we can
reflecting.
all have them. We just
There are
have to
many
be
trying to define
respectful.
my motivations. And while I'm not looking for forgiveness or trying to make excuses, I do hope to provide additional context that has not been made clear.
Oh,
I have
yes,
followed
please
the
give
Letitia Stout case
context.
closely, and it was actually during the trial that I made the official records request. And it was in El Paso County, Colorado. I requested all the video, audio, and written records. I made no request for autopsy photos. I wanted all trial records, but my main interests were interviews with Letitia. The autopsy photos just happened to be in the files.
Okay, then, ma'am, I don't understand why you published them. I guess I am confused. I look, I understand that you could put them out. I'm not saying, but it rubs me all the wrong ways. It burns my biscuits. Maybe I just because I watched that whole trial and I have little grandsons about Gannon's age, maybe I am just too close and too female emotional for this. But I will say, I hope that you do some soul searching and hopefully this is
I spent
real.
time reviewing what I received so I could provide more info from the trial. I believe many of my images were already shown during the televised trial, and I saw the photos on other public YouTube channels that live streamed the trial and shared the evidence. I didn't think any of the images were new. These photos were already public, although the video I put together with the coroner's voice was my own creation. I chose to put the video on Patreon because of the sensitive nature of the evidence. Putting the evidence behind a paywall meant added security, and I naively thought they wouldn't be made public. The video I created with a voice from the coroner wasn't meant to be shared outside of Patreon, and I chose not to put the photos on YouTube, a public forum, where the views would have allowed me to make more money and the photos would be seen by more people.
Ma'am, I am not the master of public apologies, if you will, because that would be admitting I have done something wrong. And when you are a woman of a certain vintage, you are allowed to, well, rest on your wisdom, if you will. But perhaps bragging that you could have made more money on YouTube is perhaps not the tactic I would say. And yes, I find you know what? I love me some hot red. I do. My car is, bright red. Yeah, I mean, people are hypocrites. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if there were naked Fabio pictures out there that may or may not have been taken by some paparazzos, look, I'm not saying that Stella would, join a Patreon. I'm just saying we are all hypocrites. We are all fallen and can do better. I guess she just got me so burnt up. So burnt up. So I guess we all have weaknesses. I mean, if the Fabio nakedness, I mean, if anyone knows where they might could be, on the underground web or what have you, um, I am going to be getting a Discord and you can send those to me and you know, I'm just I'm just throwing that out there. So let's continue to listen. I just don't know if that's the optics I would go for, like, I coulda just made more money, had I been tawdrier.
Because the video was placed behind a paywall, rumors about the images not being blurred or being different than what was shown in trial started to surface. No photos shows genitalia. I have made no jokes about the photos. I don't even cuss on my channel, and I would never allow derogatory remarks about a victim. I realized my intentions were not communicated well. My channel style is sort of me hanging out with friends and speaking off the cuff, and I did not articulate my
Well, this seems to be as though you just didn't think this all through. Now, what I can tell you. Oh, there was another one. I just saw this one. I heard something about um 10 to life having some, and it's just, I'm sorry, people. I had respected 10 to life, and I really hope that is not true. She's such a cute little girl, and she's got little kids, and I hope that she did not post any photos in her Patreons that would, be disrespectful or just plain trashy. Oh, okay. Well, then she just is. I'm not even gonna look her up. My Fitbit is gonna start yelling at me if I get my blood pressures going up too much, and I got more things to rant about, if you can believe it. People have lost their doggone sense. They are acting like they have no home training. So there is some more we got to get into, and I'm not even gonna look her up because, oh my gosh, uh, my thing's gonna start beeping, and they're gonna think I need a life alert. And unfortunately, if you call it too many times to get a cute firefighter, they start to get a little choosy about when they come out. They also don't like you spraying them with a hose when they come up. It's like they don't understand or participate in community service.
articulate my reasons or think my decision through. At this time, my Patreon website has been shut down. I am not sharing any of the photos or video anywhere, although you can see the photos published on other popular channels. Nothing you see is from me, nor will ever be. To those who have supported me and followed my channel, and to the true crime community, I'm sorry I let you down. I cannot imagine the pain Gannon's family has gone through. My anger over what happened to Gannon is the reason I started following the case. I'm not this evil, heartless person like many are saying, but I'm also doing a lot of self reflecting, and I'm looking into sensitivity training. I did not want to add
Oh, no, ma'am, not sensitivity training. You just need common sense freaking training. And I can give you some right here. You just call Granny. Anytime you want to do something, you think this will be especially special if I did it, you call and you get it the Granny approval. Because I can tell you what, I got some common sense. I might not have book learning, but I could have told you this was going to end up in a whole pile of manure. It is the internet, honey. I am the Bill Musk of my community, and I know the internets, and everything turns into a damn shit show. I don't know why you are shocked. Hello, I am Stella Rose. I am the Southern Church Granny who's a little bit sweet, little bit sassy, and we are just talking about things that piss us off or piss me off today. Sort of a rant. We're just a going. And I'm gonna turn her off because, like I said, um, they get a little bit upset if you keep calling for the right, you know, fireman. I'm telling you, a jitterbug is functional, it is easy to use, and the buttons are big. So we are just gonna stop that screen because I got another thing to rant about because I'm a granny. I don't know if you knew this. And I love me my grandchildren. And let me just tell you, you sweet, lovely baby girl, you damn you freaking New York Times. Don't know why I had to use a damn Yankee site. It's not like anyone else doesn't know the president couldn't make something in the Tennessee News. Nope, had to make it in freaking the New York doggone Times. All right, and here's my thing. Here is my big thing because I am a granny. And you know what? I agree with this you know, well, it's probably not fake news. It did say it was an opinion, but mainstream media will get you. They will get you, okay? And I just wanted to talk about, yeah, let's see, what is the name of that? Navy Joan. Navy Joan is the daughter of Hunter Biden and another woman, okay? Now, first of all, how tawdry and cheap are you to cheat on the widow of your dead brother? Now, y'all, I'm not saying I don't like family drama. I don't like my family's drama. But if I were given a ticket or a chance to go at the Biden's family get together upon a Thanksgiving, I would be there like a fly on all the vegetables you just done bought at the produce store. I would want to see that shit show up in person. Could you just imagine? I mean, you had a brother who married or who was dating the dead brother's wife and then cheating with a stripper and a bunch of other people, and he took pictures of it, and he put M&Ms on his man-ness and took pictures. I do not understand. But here's the bottom line, Mr. Joe Biden, Mr. Grandpa Joe, Mr. Kind Uncle, Mr. Coal Miner's daughter, Mr. I'm a family man and let me, take out the memory of my deceased son every time someone dies around me to make them feel sorry for me. Sir, first of all, everybody's got a past and a box of trauma that we carry around, and we don't drag it out every time someone else has a problem. Uh-uh. Oh, no, see, I have heard those are on a FBI list. If you try to download them, you will get in trouble, and I'm pretty sure you will be on a list, okay? And I don't want no Fed troubles. I mean, I've watched some shows and they do look a little spiffy, but Hollywood would lie to me and I would probably get like the freaking lunchbox Kraus of the FBI people. I just would not I would not luck out. But, sir, as a granny myself, as a precious granny, a precious baby has come into this world. And no matter what she did, no matter how she got here, she is here. She is supposed to be here. God put her here for a reason, and you are a pappy to 7 daggone kids. I cannot believe it. How just heartless and mean are you that you would deny this beautiful baby? I don't care where she come from. That's family. That's the baby. It ain't the baby's fault that your son's a screw up. Every family has a screw up. Hell, my family has about 4 or more. I mean, it just depends on like who's in prison, if you know what I mean. But we still love them. We still send them Christmas cards. We still give them $10 in their commissary, and we still pray that they make the right choice the next time, because God knows they don't have the sense the Lord gave a monkey, but they are still our family. So, sir, you have 7 grandchildren. That is not a question. You need to just step up, and if you wanna be the Mr. Nice Uncle Joe, Mr. Smiley Smiley Face, Mr. Whispers in the microphone like a creepy old man. I mean, who does that? It was terrible. It was terrible. This poor little baby is gonna grow up and see pictures of her siblings or of her half siblings, of all the other kids that the Bidens, will claim, and I don't care I ain't a Republican, I ain't a Democrat, I am a well, I don't know what I am right now, to be very honest, other than pissed off, and apparently the doctor says that's gonna last for a while because my hormones is all out. But if I know anything, yelling at the internet is gonna be fine. Apparently, that is the only way we do in 2023. It well, We can't pick our grandparents just like we can't pick how we got our grandbabies. But let me tell you something. One of my grandkids comes in and they maybe aren't in a good situation, but they show me a precious little child, precious little baby. That is a baby. You are a screw up, but that is a precious innocent little baby. Sir, I am just you claim to be a Christian. Now, I know that I'm not what you would like to call a model Christian, okay? I drink, I smoke. Well, I don't smoke, I vape. I am a lady, and it's got rhinestones on it. Oh my god. Okay, anywho, Annie Hoozle. Well, not everyone has to have kids. I mean, we need babysitters. It takes a village, Sal, and sometimes people just don't need to have kids in the village or don't want to. And that is perfectly fine. I am perfectly fine with your lifestyle and your choices, and I don't care. We are all friends. We are all friends. We are all made, in an image. But ignoring your grandkid, it is just it is just ugly. It is, and I don't want to be ugly, but it is just ugly and hateful, isn't it? I mean, seriously, you don't condemn the baby. Oh, sweetheart, you would be fine. Everyone's terrified they're gonna be horrible parents. Everybody. I remember way back with my first baby. I mean, the nurses just plop them down on you and say, "Okay, it's yours." I mean, you're like, "Well, ma'am, I was there, and y'all wouldn't give me the twilight birth that I wanted." Apparently, that had gone out of vogue. They wanted me to they wanted to try to get me into something called Lamaze. Like some breathing's gonna help when drugs won't. No, ma'am. No. No, no, no. The good Lord may have made labor painful, but he also guided them science guys to give me some damn drugs, okay? I know, they just plop this little human being who looks at you with these big old eyes and Winston Churchill's face, or, that little shriveled Voldemort thing and that look, some of my kids did not come out the cutest when they were first born. They all became cute, but a lot of them look like Winston Churchill, okay? So, it just, so everyone thinks that they are going to be just terrible. But you know what? You learn, and oh my gosh, you just learn. Well, I mean, if she is sassy and classy and, maybe just loves Dolly Parton a little too much. Oh, y'all, I forgot to tell you so. Mr. Now, Mr. Stella does not know, but there is a Dolly Parton wig I have found. And I'm not saying that I might have it in my wish list, but I'm not saying I don't, okay? So if you see Mr. Stella, you just don't tell him, okay? Because sometimes we need to keep secrets alive, and let me just tell you that you put on a little Dolly Parton, a little, you know, Kenny Rogers, Islands in the Sand, you get yourself to dancing, that's some romance right there. And I'm just saying, I put on a cha-cha top, tight little skirt, well, down to my knees because 'cause I'm a lady, alright? But we have pencil skirts, okay? And we will just, you know romance, it will not die. You just have to work on it. Thank you. Thank you, and I have found some dolly portraits, and I will be getting them. Now, if y'all go to the flea markets, if you go to the swap meets, and you see a velvet dolly picture, you send me your Cash App, and I will buy that and pay shipping. Cause oh my gosh, our queen, Miss Dolly, and her best friend, Queen Reba, I'm just saying, I might go red next time. I don't know. Oh, oh, no, no, Miss Stella does not sing. Um, and it would be sacrilege to, disturb that beautiful song. That would be a terrible thing, and I would not like to. You are so welcome, sweetheart. I hope you have a better day. You know what? Some days, excuse my French, just suck donkey balls, all right? They just do. Usually, like, something like your bra snaps or, you know, your flip-flop just breaks right in the Walmarts. Gotta buy a daggone new one, and it was your favorite pair because it had the rhinestones on it too. They don't even have a cute pair. Or you go to the mechanics and they're like, "Well, you need new brakes and everything else, and it just ain't covered under warranty." And you're like, "Well, I bought the damn warranty. What the hell does it cover?" And they said, "Well, not brakes." I was like, "I don't think you understand the question, young man. I would like to understand." Oh, no, I just see, y'all, my Catholic friends got a little offended by the joke when I said that we only keep the Catholics around for, exorcisms. I thought it was a beautiful representation of how God uses all the denominations for something good. I mean, we have, us Southern Baptist for the fried chicken, the sweet tea, and the crawfish boils. I'm just saying, we make some food and we will make you food until you pop. I'm just saying, uh, do not tell a Southern granny you are not hungry. You will end up with about 5 things, 5 Tupperwares. Now, I don't buy Tupperwares, okay? I will give you one of those country crock pots. We keep those, you just wash them out and they are Tupperware, okay? I don't need to go to no fancy party. I have a bunch of Tupperware just with the butters, with the margins. But I will give you some. You know what? So I had to go to that doctor's and I couldn't wear my favorite flip-flops anymore, so I had to get me some Birkenstocks. Listen, I understand bras are prison bras. Sometimes the good Lord tests our patience and our stamina by making us wear underwires. That's just it just is a test of will. It is, you know, it, it is you have to be strong. You have to wait till the end of the day. And then you take that sucker off, and if the UPS man shows up, well, then he just gets a show, and you get a new UPS man because he had to retire. I think it was because of my hotness. Oh, which reminds me, oh my gosh, have y'all not seen fried green tomatoes? So I had a great idea. I thought that it was so hilarious when she made that dress out of cellophane. I was like, "I bet I could make me a dress out of cellophane and do one of them YouTubey channels where I do the challenge things." And then Mr. Mr. Stella was like, "You are gonna get a restraining order, and that's a whole lot of cellophane. You know what? You better send him some flowers. He is gonna have a damn funeral soon. Tell me I need 2 things damn cellophane for me. Just I'm just saying that's a start of a damn snapped episode if you have it. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. He said I needed 2 boxes and the extra size. I'm just saying, send flowers because Mr. Stella's about to be gone, about to be a sexy widow. Mhm. That's why I went full cha-cha today. I don't care. Maybe I'm cruising too, okay? 2 boxes, just frost my biscuits. Cannot with him. Oh, and then you know what? Everything had just it we had this wonderful, wonderful, thing where we found the Long Island Killer, okay, or whatever however you say it. I know there is a guy out there that's trying to teach me how to say them words, but it's hard, okay? Look, I speak holler, all right? See, we are all the body of Christ. You've got the Catholics for the exorcism, you've got us for the fried chicken and the gossip. You've got the Methodist for the lutefisk, And, well, you got the Presbyterians for something. No, do you remember in, Fried Green Tomatoes, that beautiful, beautiful show about a woman of a certain vintage played by Miss Kathy Bates? She was not, in fact, well, she wasn't, killing and murdering or, stalking a novelist this time. She was a beautiful Southern woman who was finding her voice. I'm not saying I could relate, but I used to be a little bit shy and not as cha-cha as you would believe. I used to be muted. And then I saw that movie again and I thought, Tawanda, and I was gonna do myself up. So, that's what I did. But we found this, man serial killer. I don't know, the stuff that is coming out of this stuff is just I'm sorry, it's terrible, and he seems like a real creep, just a big old ogre, just a waste of a tall man, because there are not as many tall mans. I know, I am older and I have more insurance, might have been the best scene ever. It might have been the greatest scene ever, Miss Kathy Bates just being too cha-cha for words, getting herself a little trampoline and telling her husband what for, inviting Miss Rose to their house, just beautiful. Just beautiful. And that, abusing, scum-sucking man that Ruth married, they just barbecued his ass. I don't know, maybe Mr. Stella should, start watching his back. Tell me 2 boxes of Saran wrap. I'm about to use the holy book upon him. Anyhoozle. So we found this serial killer, and that was wonderful, and I am glad, and I hope they just nail him to the wall, and I hope he just opens his big, darn ugly and ogre mouth, and he just starts spewing all facts. Because 'cause I'm just telling y'all, I think he is just prolific, I really do. Yes, I know prolific, I'm Southern, not stupid. That is so great, every time it is like family here, you come, and we just sit here and we don't gossip per se, but that y'all have been acting like you have no home training on this internet. It really has happened. You have acted like that just no home training. So anyway, I was looking at all these websites and I was looking at the news and everything, and I have a bone to pick with this particular people. One second. I have a bone to pick. Oh, that's what it was. Oh my goodness, yes. Um, Now I will say that, you know, in hindsight and after, some experiments for science, you end up looking kinda like a sausage with weird lumps. It is not as sexy as one would think. You do kinda just look like a weird sausage thing. They just got the casing all wrong. It's just it's very possible. The things that come out of my mouth, I swear, bless my heart. But I was reading all this news. No, they were removing, so I got this brand new fancy chair. It's fancy, fancy, and I had the old chair in my room, and one of the grandkids wanted it up in their room, so that's just where it went. Yes, I am Stella Rose. I'm the granny to Mo. And I have been told I was angry about some stuff I'd seen on this internets, and I was told reliably by Mo and my grandchildren that if you wanted to be angry about something, the only way you can be angry about something in 2023 is to go on the internet and complain. And I thought, well, I got me an internet and I am the Elon Gates of my friend group, and Mildred can go to hell. I mean, I love her and I pray for her to have her wonderful talents recommend her to a job in Guam. My pastor still says that's wrong, but you know what? Guam needs people. We need to see if it's going to tip over, anyways. I mean, for science. Mildred could be a scientist. Anyway, I'm sorry. We are just getting all off on a tangent, and I've got bridge coming up soon. Mildred's on a diet, and she's not supposed to have carbs, okay? But I have been sneaking a little bit of carbs into her low carb stuff. She's you know, there is nothing more annoying than someone who has started CrossFit and keto. Can I tell you, and they will tell you and tell you and tell you, and honest to God, Mildred, I do not care. I do not care. I'm working my own program. No, ma'am, I do not need to see you jump snatch a barbell with your fingers. I don't wanna see it. You are of a certain vintage, ma'am. Them hot shorts, listen, God made us all women around here in our bridge group, but he also gave us all the cellulites, okay? And there are some bike shorts that need to be, age appropriate. If we say you can be cha-cha, you can be sexy and classy, sassy and classy. Anyway, we have gotten all off topic, and I was talking about this new case that I have done seen, and it is beautiful. It is beautiful because this man has probably done all sorts of horrible, horrible things, getting burner phones, talking to women of the night, on Valentine's Day. On Valentine's Day, when his wife is out of town, this man has got one of them, a burner phone, and I think that's where you get at the Kmart, there's just a little packagey, guys. I think that's what you do. Um, I have never tried it. I think I might. I used to have a beeper back in the day. I was very tech savvy. I had a voice recording machine with a little, cassette for answering machine stuff. I was with it and with the times just like I am now. And, you know, there are things that have changed since I was a little girl, since I was, hot to trot, if you will. ZZ Top's still awesome, but you don't hear them on the radio except for the classic station, and that's upsetting. Yeah, it's never good when you're hearing something from your childhood in the classic station. That is not an easy day. And, the way we talked about people has changed, I thought. I really thought that we had changed and become a little bit more human, a little bit more loving, a little bit more Christian, if you ask me, the right kind of Christian. But I keep reading these articles, I keep seeing this news, and every single time you see one of these victims talked about, they talk about the fact that she was a lady of the night. And I think we have all learned from Reba that, they might have thought of her as plain white trash, but Fancy was her name. And Fancy went up and she became famous and you know what? Just know, just know. I am trying to tell you that you will respect people as their humanness. I cannot believe it. Every single place that I'm reading a news press thing or I'm looking at, a book or something, all they talk about first is victim, or they don't even say victim. Y'all, they don't even say victim. They don't even say victim. They say sex worker. Which, y'all, I don't know, and I might just be old, don't forgive me if I'm not up with the new hip, lingo and the right things to say, but how is sex worker any worse or better than prostitute? I don't know, sex worker, it eh, I think I've heard women of payable pleasure, and I would be fine with that. It's okay, sweetie. If you don't understand, I am ranting about, uh that is a Rumble exclusive, and I don't know if you could handle it. It's very spicy. I used to be quite spicy, quite the head turner. I'm just saying. Ladies of negotiable affection, I feel like, but here is my rant. Here is my rant, and I will stick to it. I don't care what the woman did. I don't care, what she was, working with. If she was on the Craigslist and she was, I guess you advertise massages with, good endings or something. I don't know. Look, my smut stays in my books and we don't talk about call girls, all right? Now, call boys, look, we've all seen Pretty Woman, all right? And I'm pretty sure that's exactly how, well, now, my first husband, bless his soul, and my second husband, blessed his soul, possibly because of his, cellophane comment. But I am talking about the way the media, the mainstream media, the enemy of the people, just puts on their sex worker, not victim, not their names first, just, person killed a bunch of sex workers. I just cannot. These were sisters, these were daughters, these were, friends, these were ladies, these were humans. You just use their name for God's sakes. They were people. Now there are some Christians. There are some Christians and we don't invite them to parties because they're uppity and they got their nose stuck up and they're rigid and they're just not fun. And who wants to invite someone like Mildred to margaritas at midnight if practical magic, you know what I mean? And oh my god, too, okay, there's also a Stevie Nicks style, like, I'm just saying, if I had to go not country, Stevie Nicks would be my fashion queen. Yeah, and speaking of Stevie Nicks, I mean, you wanna talk tawdry. I remember that love quadrangle. So tangled up, you needed a damn whiteboard to figure out who the hell was screwing who. Cocaine was an interesting thing. I mean, it gave us Layla. Well, I don't know about that. I happen to think possibly just yes, Stevie Nicks better still be alive. We already lost our dear, dear Betty White, who made, Rose. Rose, she took my middle name and she was just sweet and she was Saint from, oh gosh, Saint Lucian or something. I don't remember. Look, y'all, I don't watch Golden Girls as much as I should, because any any show that advocated that cheesecake will save and solve all problems is a show I can get behind, but possibly. I mean, look, when you look like this, with great power of seduction comes great responsibility, and not all women, as we know, I mean, look at the OnlyFans stalker, not all of us use our feminine wiles for good. Now, as a young woman, I may have not known the power of my curves, and I may have used them irresponsibly. But now, as a woman of a certain vintage, and unless you're a fireman who may have lost his shirt, I stay modest and classy, unless you ask. Yeah, and I'm sorry, sir, that, I think 2 millennia after the apple or however many look, y'all can math whatever you want. I don't think even Jesus knows how old this place is, to be honest with you. But that's just my opinion, and the pastor says half the things that come out my damn mouth are irreverent and possibly blasphemous. He really does have a stick up his ass sometimes, and apparently praying for him to have a safe removal of it is also not a good prayer. It's like I don't even know what to pray for anymore. Anal stick removal of assness. I don't know. But you could just, I mean, I'm just saying that while Eve may have tempted him, Adam still made the decision. You can't absolve yourself from, you know, culpability because you want to pretend you're stupid and didn't know what an apple was and didn't know where the tree was from. It was the only freaking apple tree in the daggone garden. I'm sorry, but no, sir. We may have sinned first, but you just joined. You were an accomplice after the fact, just as guilty in the conspiracy. So, nope, you are not absolved of nothing, sir. Very sorry. Now, I am not actually what you call a lawyer. Now, I have talked to many an inmate on pen pal things because I'm a good Christian woman, and oh, that would be awesome. I would love anytime I can learn about the Bible is just great and drink. I mean, coffee. If it's Irish coffee, it's still coffee, okay? Bailey's is the bomb. I think is that what y'all say now, you kids? Do you all say the bomb, right? That's what it is. Well, you know what, kiddos? We have come to the end of I always giggled. So this is a little side story. So Stella, myself, your radiant granny, had to go to a Catholic school as a child. Now, if you can imagine, I know, I know. It is like, we may have handed you the apple, but it's not like we shoved it down his damn throat. I don't see any scripture that said, and Eve tied him up and forced him by, plugging his nose and applesauce, airplaning it in. So, well, that's just silly. Yeah, it is just silly. But anywho, and if you can imagine, little Stella's mouth was just as sassy as it is today. In fact, Miss Stella may have been in the principal's office a lot. Because on grandkids, you cannot, you know what? You can't kennel train them and you can't leave them at home with your kids when they want to go out because, well, variety is the spice of life, I guess. I don't know. I don't judge. Look, I have had a wild, wild life and I found Jesus and I'm trying to be better. Okay. Thank you, sweetie. I mean, just toot shot shot for words. And I'm telling you, there is a dolly wig and I am this close to buying it. But honestly, Mr. Stella's getting a little confused about the wigs but you put on some islands in the sand and you pretend that you're Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. It is a night to remember. All right. So I was in Catholic school, as I was saying, and I was mouthy. And so I asked the principal, or well, the priest would come around and, you could ask him questions about like the Bible and like what you were supposed to do and what a cardinal sin is and versus a venial sin. It was just, you could ask questions. So I asked where in the Bible were dinosaurs. And he was saying, he started talking and talking, and I got bored. So I was like, oh, so there's not really a clear passage then. And, apparently that was not the correct decorum to use in front of Father Bill. Now later in high school and middle school, we started calling him Father What a Waste because he was a handsome man, but apparently he just done married Jesus or something. I never quite I didn't finish catechism, okay? All that standing up, sitting down, being, you know, peace be with you, that kind of stuff. It was not for me. I understand that it just moves people sometimes, but it was not for me. It's a little too stuffy. But you got a good workout. I mean, up, down. And then the fish, look, honestly, it was the McFishin or whatever that thing was. I'm sorry. That is just a sin against humanity. All right. And every Friday you'd have to have tuna casserole. And I was like, if Jesus died on the cross, I don't even think he would eat tuna casserole. But my mom also thought that that was not appropriate. So, I spent a lot of time in the corner and eating cold tuna casserole. And I made it my vow then and there that I would never serve anyone tuna casserole because I don't hate people. And if I'm gonna feed you, I'm gonna feed you something good. I mean, have you ever had real lard biscuits, okay, in cast iron pan? It just it is the best thing ever. Some biscuits and gravy. Now you wanna praise Jesus, have you some biscuits and gravy or make that chocolate gravy. I'm just saying, look, Jenny Craig will come get your ass the next day. I mean, Jenny Craig will just snatch you up after you have it. The next day, you will have to go to the gym and you will have to get on one of those stepulators for hours. But, biscuits with some chocolate gravy. And have you had macaroni and cheese in the oven with some breadcrumbs? Okay? I'm just saying, y'all. Tuna casserole is a sin. It is. I have never met one grown person, not one grown person who loves them some tuna casserole, who's like, "You know what, on a rainy day, I need me some tuna casserole." No, you get you some chicken and dumplings, sweetheart. Homemade chicken and dumplings. Well, no, I was not a boy. I've never been a boy. I mean, even though I'm pretty sure I can pick now, I think. No, I'm still a girl. You can't have, well, boobs like I do and be a boy. Well, I mean, I guess you can nowadays. I don't even know. Parents, I praise you today because not only do you need to do the birds and the bees, you have to have an entire goddamn Noah's Ark of all the flipping bedroom stuff that you're trying to teach these daggone children because they got it just all the sexes everywhere and all the things. Oh my goodness. I would, no, no, we got to believe in redemption. If a redeemed hussy like me can find the Lord, then she can also find a clue. Cause who the hell does that and think that's gonna again, I may be old and I know I'm semi-tech literate, but I am the smartest one in my group, so you know what that means. Anywho, but even I know that anything you put on the internet can and will be used against you. And if you put out something on the Patreons, it will come and bite you in your ass. I mean, look at all these only is it OnlyFans? All these OnlyFan models going all crazy, throwing knives like they're javelins, acting all weird, having bad hair extensions. I mean, you make some money. Could you get some good hair extensions, girlfriend? I am not rich, but it takes money, it takes time and dedication to look this good. You are a person that sells naked pictures. I mean, don't you have to look at least a little good, Courtney? I am confused. I know that you were doing the nose clams like my dear, Stevie Nicks to the point where you just had no nose anyway, but, oh my god, it's it's tawdry. It is just tawdry. Now, it is time for me and Mr. Stella. Yeah, yeah, I saw that on, it was, a TikToks, I think. I saw that, and that was hysterical. It was hysterical. He was so funny. That would be hilarious, only cats. Well, I'm sure someone would use the slang and make it, only P word because that would be hilarious. Can you imagine all people looking for something tawdry and, a little risque, and then they just see Babu the cat everywhere? Oh, that would tickle me pink. You have no idea. That would be the funniest thing ever, and they've already paid the $5. Oh, a subscription to cats. I might have to do that. People love cats. Anyway, while Granny is thinking about only cats, because we'll work on it, focus group it a little bit. Me and Sal will work it out. I think we have a winner here. I'm glad that we rounded it out with me becoming an entrepreneur on the digital landscape. I will be a marketing, what are they called it? Okay, fine, we'll use my cats. I mean, they'll do it for extra kibble. They're kinda whores, if you will, for extra kibble, and they'll do anything for it, so, honestly and they don't really I mean, listen, Thor and Loki are in a dedicated relationship, but Thor is still stepping out with Bender, so really, the morals there are just, not there. So, we'll just do only cats with my cats. Can't be he just cannot even be faithful to his man. Just sad. And I will see y'all later. We will probably have another granny rant sometime next week, or maybe just whenever ever anyone gets me to wanna start some grits a boiling, if you know what I mean, true Medea style. I'm just saying. I will see y'all later. Try to keep the Jesus, or someone might slap you upside the head with a Bible. I'm just saying. Sometimes the word is hard. Oh, that was a little risque, and I'm definitely my pastor is gonna be so embarrassed, but I don't know if he knows how to use the YouTubes, so I will catch y'all later, and I will still be sassy, and I will still be here, so you be sassy, and you be classy too, okay, right? Alright, babies?